An accused child molester in Post Falls is allowed to live right across the street from his alleged victims. And tonight, their mother is outraged by the judge's leniency, contacted KXLY4 looking for help. 82-year-old Harry Medor charged with 3 felony counts of sexual abuse of a child. And KXLY4's Kylee Cruz did some checking on this story. She's now live in the studio tonight with more on how that North Idaho mother is fighting to protect her young daughters. Kylee?
And Nadine Medor is accused of molesting the mother's 3 daughters, all under the age of 10. And we aren't going to identify them because of privacy concerns. But we do want to tell their story because right now, Medor can live just feet away from those young girls. It's something their mother can't believe. A trusted neighbor, now a mother's worst nightmare.
Seemed to be a great man. My kids became very close with him instantly.
That man, 82-year-old Harry Medor. He lives in Post Falls and is accused of molesting 3 young sisters who live right across the street. Their mother, who we aren't naming, says Medor was like a grandpa to her kids.
And it hurts to know that he would do this, and I don't understand it.
Medor was arrested last Friday. In court yesterday, his bail was set at just $50,000.
So still, that's relatively high for some cases, but for sex offenses, they seem to be higher.
I mean, and knowing that the detective had talked to the judge and explained to him, please try, I recommended 6 figures to make it harder for him to get out, and as well as said, you know, she's very concerned about the distance, and then he still granted that.
Medor quickly bonded out of jail. Typically, this means he paid 10% of the bail, or $5 grand. Detective Dave Beck says that's usually not the case.
More times than not, the bond is set high enough to where the suspect or the alleged offender typically has difficulty bonding out.
It's standard in Kootenai County. If a suspect bonds out of jail, he or she still has to remain at least 300 feet away from the alleged victim. But in this case, since they live so close, that would mean Medor would have had to move. It's what the state wanted. It's what the victim's mom wanted. But the judge ruled the alleged child molester only has to be 50 feet away, meaning he can live at his own home if he chooses.
He's caused them all this pain and hurt that they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their lives. And he's not getting anything. They told me it could be up to a year before trial.
Reach out to the judge today for a comment on his ruling. He did not respond yet. Post Falls police still investigating this case. I asked if there could potentially be more victims here. All they would tell me this afternoon is that they'll be doing more interviews. In the studio, Kylee Cruz, KXLY4 News.